What if attraction isn't a feeling? What if it's a calculation running silently, constantly, underneath everything you think you feel? A calculation so old, so deeply buried inside you that you mistake it for love, for chemistry, for fate. You don't. You never did. Your DNA did it for you. And once you understand why, you'll never look at attraction the same way again. For most of human history, nobody asked why men were attracted to women. It was simply the way things were, as natural as hunger, as unavoidable as breath. But then science arrived, and it started pulling at the threads. What it found underneath was not romantic. It was not poetic. It was not the stuff of love songs. It was survival mathematics written in flesh. Evolutionary psychologists have spent decades studying attraction across thousands of cultures, different languages, different values, different definitions of beauty, and yet certain patterns appeared everywhere, in every country, in every era, without exception. That consistency is not a coincidence. That consistency is a message from your ancestors. The first thing men notice across every studied culture on Earth is not personality, it's not intelligence, it's not kindness, it's symmetry. A symmetrical face is not just beautiful. To the ancient brain, it is information. It signals genetic health, low mutation load, a strong immune system, a body that has survived development without disruption. You don't consciously think any of this. You just feel it in a fraction of a second before you even know her name. But here's where it gets darker. Men are also drawn deeply, almost irrationally, to signs of youth. Clear skin, bright eyes, high energy. These are not superficial preferences. They are biological markers, signs of reproductive viability, signs that the genetic line can continue. Your brain doesn't want love. Your brain wants the next generation to exist. And this is the part almost nobody talks about: the waist to hip ratio. Studies conducted across dozens of unconnected cultures found that men consistently find a specific ratio most attractive, roughly 0.7. Not because anyone taught them this, not because of magazines or media, because that ratio, across millions of years of evolution, correlated with fertility, with hormonal health, with a higher chance that children would be born and survive. You are not attracted to a woman. You are attracted to a probability. But then something even stranger emerged from the research. It turns out men are also powerfully drawn to warmth, to the sound of a laugh, to the way someone makes a room feel lighter. And this too is ancient, because in the brutal world of early humans, a cold partner was a dangerous partner. Warmth meant cooperation. Warmth meant the children would be cared for even when you weren't there. Even kindness, even something as soft as a smile, is a survival signal in disguise. So here is the uncomfortable question. If attraction is just biology, does any of it mean anything? If the moment you felt your heart stop for someone was just your nervous system running an ancient genetic subroutine, was it real? Here is what the science cannot answer. Here is where it goes silent. Because yes, the initial spark is biology. The pull is primal. The calculation is ancient and cold and merciless. But what humans do with that spark, the poems, the sacrifices, the choosing to stay, the 3 a.m. conversations, the holding someone while they fall apart, none of that is in the data. None of that was required for survival. And yet, here we are. Maybe attraction is where biology ends and humanity begins. You did not choose who you are drawn to. Not really. Millions of years of death, survival, reproduction, and loss wrote those preferences into your nervous system long before you were born. But you choose what you do next. You choose whether the spark becomes something worth keeping, something worth building, something that outlasts the biology that started it. Every person who has ever fallen in love started with the same ancient pull, the same cold calculation running in the dark. And somehow, against all the odds, some of them built something that felt like forever, not because their DNA told them to, because they decided to.